99X. One station. Everything. Everything. Alternative 99X.
I want to thank Sean and Leslie for their amazing support. Morning radio is not something that I've ever done in my life, and just because I was so scared, it can be a very dangerous thing for someone in my position. And you were so gracious and so kind, and you're one of the last great radio stations that makes it about the music, and I can't thank you enough for that. I just wanted to take a second just to thank you all for coming out. We've had screenings in New York and Los Angeles and San Francisco. This is the last one that we are going to do in the U.S., and this was the place we wanted to come and end it. We've had more support here than anywhere, and I just wanted to thank you personally, and if you had any questions, we would do our best to answer them now. Yes, ma'am.
First of all, I just want to say thank you for the music. I was hoping Rocco would be here so I could tell him that too. My first question is, I was wondering why the song I Trust You to Kill Me was not on the album.
It was something that, I Trust You to Kill Me was actually something that was born out of a discussion that Rocco and I had. I guess there's no hiding it. After you watch the film, I had a couple drinks. And I was sitting with Rocco after a concert that he had played, and I said, you know, if you don't make it, if you don't get your music out there, I'll kill you. And he looked at me and he said, no, I trust you to kill me. And somehow, about a day later, and he had been toying with what he was trying to figure out was going to be the title of the record. And he woke up the next day and for whatever reason still remembered that and said, I got it. It's I Trust You to Kill Me. And the title, which I described, well, I explained it in the film why it meant so much to me. Because that really is what he represents. But the song came after the fact. The song was something he wrote while touring, promoting this record. And he's not the first person to do that. High Voltage, AC/DC, came out on the next record. There are, in fact, a lot of acts that have come up with a great title that inspired them, and then they in turn wrote the song. Yes?
I'm actually a suburbanite, and I'm from
That's
Atlanta.
all right.
Well, it's been 20 years since I've actually ventured out to come to anything. I went through a divorce about a year ago, and it's just, I'm local to Atlanta, and I just want to thank you, and I just love the music, and I'm so glad that you got it out there. And I hope I can get in tonight to see the band, because I don't have a ticket, but I hope I can get in.
Well,
here comes the pandering.
Thank you very much. And we'll do everything we can to get you in there. I have to tell you something about one of the most amazing things about this band. And Manu can tell you this because he was really responsible for filming them, is that nothing replaces being there and being in that moment. For me, this is one of the most difficult things to watch and one of the happiest things to watch. On a personal level, this represented one of the greatest 2 weeks of my life. It was also one of the most difficult, but every night when we would see this band play, we were reaffirmed about what I was trying to do, and he was reaffirmed about what he was trying to do. And so if you do ever get a chance to see this band, I promise you they will break your heart.
Someone was just nice enough, and I just turned 39 too,
Great.
and I'm learning about myself totally.
I just turned 39.
Kiefer, we're over here. We're over here in the corner.
Okay.
Mr. Sutherland, my name is Taylor Marshall. I'm a huge fan, sir.
Thank you very much.
This right here is the first 4 seasons of 24. I kid you not. This year, this particular package came from China. And we all know that's where Jack is now. Would you autograph this for me, please?
I will, but I'm not going to do it right at this second. I'm going to finish the Q&A, and I'm sure that package is illegal. And I love the fact that you figured out how to smuggle it in.
We're over here.
Hi, I have a question for the director. How did you land this gig?
How did you land this gig?
Yeah. I met Kiefer 2 years ago, and we became friends. And I met Rocco, and I really liked the music a lot. And Kiefer one night told me he was gonna go in Europe to be with the band over the Christmas break, and I thought, knowing Kiefer is a very interesting guy, knowing the music, and that would be a great film. And so I started to talk to Kiefer about it, and to Rocco, and it started like that. Then we went to Tokyo over the Thanksgiving together, and I started to film there. And this didn't make to the movie, but it's going to be on the DVD extra scenes. We shot there, and we made this 3 minutes kind of a little trailer, and I got some money to keep on going. So and then it just happened. I didn't know really what to shoot, what to do, and it just happened this way, and I just took it one day at a time, and
All right, in the back over here.
Hi, Kiefer. My name is Janet, and I'm a huge fan, and my mom is too, and she would kill me if I don't do this, but can I get a hug?
Come on up here, I promise I am going to sign that package.
There you go. A tender moment.
Thank you so much.
Hey, first of all, thanks for hanging out with the common folk, Kiefer.
Oh, please.
But, hey, just what inspires you to get involved with a record label called Ironworks?
Well, I talk about it at the beginning of the film. I would have to say, as an art form, probably nothing transports me or actually moves me as quickly as music does. And in many ways it affects what I do as an actor. I can tap into a scene, whether it's emotional, whether it's aggressive, whether it's physical, whether it's violent. I can just listen to a song and get ready for something faster than anything. So I have a huge passion for that. Rocco DeLuca and the Burden, specifically as a band, they taught me something that was invaluable. We hear these fantastic numbers in our business. For instance, on 24, they will come at you one day and say, wow, 14 million people last night watched your show. You can make a film, and in 3 days, $150 million. And we hear these huge numbers, and we've gotten so used to it, weekend in, weekend out, that you lose perspective. And I was sitting, and I had heard Rocco play at a place called the Gypsy Lounge down in Long Beach, California, which is where I first saw him play. And he gave more in that performance in front of 60 people than I'd ever seen. And we had a conversation about that. And this idea of finding an audience 200 people at a time really was the genesis of him. He believed that as long as there was 4 people to play in front of, it was worth giving that. It was worth giving that much. And I realized that I had gotten a little caught up in those big numbers and forgot the value of 200 people, of 100 people, of 40 people. And so when I come out tonight, and I thank you for coming out here, it's a Saturday night. There's only, 52 of them a year, I think. And, they matter, and it's about the 200 people tonight. And he moved me like that. Not only musically, but just as a person with an ideal and an ideology. It wasn't about going platinum. It wasn't about even going gold. It was about being able to sustain a living and playing music and finding the right group of people. And I vaguely remember when I was about 19 or 20, I thought the same way. And it was really great to remember that. And so specifically with Rocco, that's what got me into that. And then musically, obviously, I'm just a huge music fan.
Mission accomplished.
Bless your heart.
Everything Alternative 99X.